Aloha, I'm Taisei from Taisei Discovers, here in studio with my brother Kenji from Kenji Walks. Together, we are spending brotherly time. Today's guest, Etienne Aurelius, aka Ali'i Lakini, is an award-winning filmmaker from Kauai and founder of the Hale Kapu Mo'olelo e Ali'i Aina film studio, and director of works like We Are Mauna Kea and Kapo. From Jason Momoa's On the Roam to global distribution deals, his storytelling uplifts Hawaiian culture and indigenous voices worldwide. Welcome, Ali'i Lakini, my brother.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you for that.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you for having me on. I'm just so humbled and stoked.
Well, I mean, bro, this has been like 6 months in the making.
Yeah.
Like, you're finally here. How are you feeling right now today?
Like probably the most nervous I've ever felt on a podcast, just because your podcast means a lot to me, and you have very significant figures like Uncle Brooke and just you in general. I in the presence of filmmakers and storytellers that I respect, like you and your brother, I just want to perform and do a good job, and I feel like I have so much to say, and I don't say it. It's like the ancestors that I channel do, and it's a heavy. I'm just very grateful.
Well, there's a lot of kuleana with what you do, and I know that you feel that, and I can actually feel you right now. But it's all good because this is the brotherly time, bro. Like we're chill, dude, and we just really want to hear about some of your insights, bro, and who the fuck Etienne is, man. Like, you're such a polarizing figure to me.
Thank you so much.
So why did you agree to be on Brotherly Time?
The level of your production quality, when I saw it, the way you guys cut the videos and the way that it has like carries like an empathy that reminds me of how I would want to do work like this. And then just your guys' story in general and the stories you tell is beautiful. It's really beautiful. You guys come in, even though you guys are local as it can be, you guys come into doing your stories like the one you did in in Maui, in the farms over there, as if you are an outsider when you're not. And so it's beautiful because it allows us to go into it with you, because I don't know anything about that stuff either. And so you guys are basically doing everything that I would advise someone to do to tell our history, and it's digestible, and it's always pono the way you guys do it. There's no way to hate on it, in my opinion, and I love it. It's just peace, love, and pono.
Wow, thank you so much. To hear the perspective of an actual accomplished filmmaker say something about the project that we're doing does bring a lot of fulfillment to what we're doing. Awesome to have you here. So let's start with this. So you appear to be someone that is misunderstood by mainstream society, a path forger, an outlier, an outside-the-box thinker, a trendsetter, a fashionista, a genius to some, but an outcast to others. Tell the people who you are, man.
Like the humble version or the real version?
The real version. The real version, bro.
I'm just a paintbrush of God. Like, I'm just here to serve the people, and I love people. And even though how much as I hate people, I cannot stop wanting to help them, even if they don't like me. And I'm blessed with a gift that is literally superior to anyone living on this earth right now. And it's a gift that I have no control over. I didn't try to learn it. I just had that gift for telling movies, to making music, to doing art. And I am simply following in the footsteps of our ali'i. Everything they said, everything they wrote, everything they've done, I have been doing over the course of my 15, 20-year career. I have been acting in those principles that they founded, but not identifying or claiming my Native Hawaiian genealogy, because at that time I didn't have a family too much to recognize with as Hawaiian, and all the old timers keep everything hush hush and secret and separate us. So only after Mauna Kea, it woke me up, and I continued to appropriate my films and my styles through like Jason Momoa, through Kailani, Makua Rothman, Cora Rothman, Nathan Florence, Landon McNamara, and so on. And so when you see these people in the early stages of their careers, they're known as, the underdogs, but people love who they are. It's when I appropriate the imaging of them, I do so by putting the culture inside of them. So you're a fan of the culture. The culture is the most important and most famous thing in the world. And once I had my daughter, I was like, this world is a very, very ever-changing world, and it's getting real dark and it's getting real cultureless. And my daughter made me want to start this company and this movement. And I started looking into my ancestors and looking into the Hawaiian culture. And I was just like, you know what? Hare Kamehameha becoming ali'i. He just decided to, straight up. He just killed his two brothers and took what was his and founded peace. He said, in my kingdom, there will be no warfare. And he had to do what he had to do, and it was peaceful until the end. And so, in my opinion, I have just decided to do my best to step into a role of a leader and follow in the footsteps of my ancestors. And everything I say is from their writings and their way. So if people think that's foreign or people think that that's outcast, or like I'm an outcast for doing that, it just goes to show how outcasted they are from the Hawaiian culture.
Wow. Well, thank you for explaining that, bro. That was an awesome explanation, and I like the way that you put it when you said you're a paintbrush from God, right? So you are known for filmmaking, working on Hollywood projects with industry professionals, like the cream of the crop, in projects like Dune and Aquaman. But
such a blessing.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. But you're also most respected, I think, for your award-winning independent films like Kapo and Kai. Let's talk Etienne's why.
Why I made those films?
Absolutely.
Well, you know, it's funny. Like in the beginning, when I was distant from my culture, I used to joke with Jason, like making a Hawaiian film is death to a career as a director. And the first two movies I made were literally the last movies I would ever think of making during my career. Like, because I just thought Hawaiians can't act, and I thought that the culture is so cheesy and it's lost. And then, lo and behold, the first film I ever made is literally what I said I would never make. And it was about the god Kapo, who came to me in my sleep in the Grand Wailea at the Kodak Summit. And I was actually held down, and I couldn't breathe. Okay. And I just saw red flowers everywhere. And it wasn't like a scary energy holding me down. It was like a soft, feminine one. And when I came up out of it, I was like, what the hell was that? Because I haven't been held down in like 5 years to that. And I really believe in those, you know, coming to you. And I was kind of like angered in the hotel room. And so then after that, I had a girlfriend at the time, and we started just filming in the hotel room, and everything was red flowers. And then Kaileni and I randomly thought of this girl named Amanda Eller, who disappeared in the mountains of Maui for like 18 days. And they thought she went missing and her boyfriend murdered her, but she was just high on mushrooms. And so that storyline inceptioned Kapo to be about a drug-addicted female with a haole boyfriend that is being abused, and she blows his home up and runs into the mountains to hide from him. And she doesn't realize the fire in her is the god Kapo. And Hina is in the forest, constantly messing with her to try to wake up Kapo. And so it's about every Hawaiian having a superpower inside of them. And that's what the first one's about.
Bro, the trailer itself, like visually, because I've seen your work in snippets when it comes to the cinematography side of it. But when I saw the trailer, brother, it was fascinating and intriguing. I want to watch that movie. Where can I find it?
I can show it to you. Right now it's on New Zealand Airlines.
Okay.
But I think the distribution company is waiting for my second movie to hit theaters, and then we're going to follow up with Kapo.
Is that Kai?
Yes. Yeah.
Because wasn't it supposed to be released in May?
Yeah, so it was just a beautiful blessing through like legal things and appropriation, distribution, and trial and error. God, that movie, it was the hardest thing in my life to. I shot it with joy and success, editing it and getting it and breaking down the door for global distribution. There was no Hawaiian genre prior to me landing that deal. Okay. Like I when I went to American Film Market, I asked the film commission to collaborate with me, and they didn't want to for personal reasons, which that's not their job. It doesn't matter if we were personal or not. And so I went there on my own money. Kuloa Ranch and the investor for the movie paid for me to go. We bought the cover of the Screener's Guide, which is the magazine everyone gets for what movies are for sale. And we put The Rise of Hawaiian Cinema and my two movies. And on that Screener's Guide, that's what birthed the Hawaiian genre. Wow. And from there, we landed the deal with Industry Works, and we had 9 other deals pending. And we actually got like a $80,000 minimum guarantee for just one of the films. And then I think it was 30 for the other. And the distribution deal I have is made to first and foremost seek a theatrical release. That is impossible for an indie film to happen. And we're moving forward with it. So all the delays and all the time spent, the movie's evolved into a new film. So when I publicized it a few years ago, that would have been almost like repetitious, but now it's like a brand new movie, and it's the best it could possibly be, and everything worked out, even though it took 4 years.
IMAX?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. 2,000 theaters.
Okay, so you shot that entire thing on your Red.
Yes, yeah.
And were you on the back of jet skis and boats and stuff like that?
Larry Haynes and I shot in the water. God bless Larry. He passed away right after the movie.
Rest in peace.
And that was the greatest water cinematographer of all time. And it just broke my heart. He was with me for every project, and he was my inspiration as a child in Kauai. He made Kauai Boys.
Okay.
And I saw that surf film when I was 10, and that's what make me want to do what I do.
And you ended up working with him,
being
alongside
with
him
until the day he passed away. He did the Waimea Eddie Aikau, and then 2 days later passed away. So at least he got to do that, like that was his dream.
Wow.
Yeah, I personally believe he took too many COVID shots. He had like 5 because they were requiring him to do stuff in the movie unions and stuff. And it seems that there's blood clots that come from that. And he just died from a random heart attack, which is impossible because he's so athletic and strong. That was a serious blow. So the movie's dedicated to him.
Wow. Okay, so we're looking forward to the release of that soon, and hopefully on the big screens, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure on the big screens.
Yeah, we're going to do a huge press tour nationwide. Okay. And that's the goal. Nothing is ever permanently in stone, as these things are, but we're going for that. And I'm only talking about that here because I want it to happen. Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking about this, man, like for how driven you are and how focused you are when it comes to these projects. What does family support look like? Does your community that you're from support you?
Kauai does. Kauai loves me. Like I'm a very big inspiration to my friends over there. Those are like that's my family. It's my ohana. Like I love Kauai. I love all of them. Like every person that I've met from there, they're the best, man. And
what about immediate family?
I have my mom and my auntie. My family has a problem with just like not getting along. And so I love my entire family, from the ones that live in Kauai and Aloha to my auntie in Hauula to my mom. And I haven't talked to my dad in like 3 years. And it's just a shame because like I love my father as well. But I think that every time I see him, I remind him of his failures as a father. So I think a lot of fathers feel that way towards children they don't really give their attention to. Because if they weren't a good dad, we remind them of that. And so when I realized that's really like was a battle in itself. When you're young, you don't feel these feelings that your family puts on you. It's when you get older and you start realizing like, why did I grow up so poor? Because, I make hundreds of thousands of dollars just doing what I love to do. And I don't understand how like having a child didn't drive certain family members or other people's family to work hard and provide that life, right? And so every day is a challenge, to get over those things, especially I haven't seen my daughter in 5 months. So, that's just another battle with someone who is selfish and allows their emotional state to affect the livelihood of my daughter. And so overcoming all these things while doing everything I've been doing this past year has just taught me mastery. I used to get so mad before, and now I just don't. And so God's just putting me through everything I need to go through to be a leader and stay calm and collective with decisions that are very heavy. Yeah, like I represent our elite. Like, so it's all been a test. Yeah.
So tell me this, if your daughter eventually watches this on YouTube, what would you tell her right now? She's the reason for everything I do. And she's the most special, loving thing I've ever had in my life. Like, my daughter is the greatest love I could have ever imagined. Like, she loves me unconditionally, and I don't even really know her because she can't talk yet. But, like, everywhere I want to go, she wants to follow me around. Everywhere I want to go, she wants to come with me. She just loves me unconditionally for being myself. And so, like, I always tell, like, fathers, like, if you have a daughter, your relationship with her should just be enough. You don't need to go chase other women and all these things because no one's going to love you more than your daughter, right? And so, like, I just want to let her know, like, I never, ever, ever would abandon her. And the smartest thing for me is to not be around her mother because it's unhealthy for her. And so making that decision to do that and then fighting in the courts for custody, and the court system's so broken and fucked. I just came from court yesterday and they dismissed the order they gave me to get her back. And I asked them, what should I do? They're like, I don't know. And I feel like there's a lot of bad examples and bad instances that people
do to make it harder for the people who are actually trying to do something right in the court system. And so I just know God's going to make everything work out, because I was granted an order that gave me custody of her as soon as the mother was served, but the mother hid with the help of her mom and her roommates and refuses to be served and do the right thing. And so, in my opinion, I'm not going to just make up and be nice, because my daughter is not going to go through this ever again. And so it takes a lot of strength to know it is not healthy for me and the mother to be around one another. Thus, if the mother doesn't want to cooperate, we need to do it the legal way, so they're forced to do so, and my daughter doesn't have to ever go through this again. A lot of people just want instant relief and just make up, and that's not healthy. So I'm dealing with that while doing 9 of the biggest art installations in history, and so it's all for her. The company's in her name.
Okay. I'm sure she will appreciate that, especially someday when she can understand.
100%. I'll get her back soon, but I just want people to know that while all these people fuck with me 24/7, and all the attacks on social media talking about kapuna that don't even exist, and all these people speaking for the kapuna. I don't ever speak for the kapuna. I speak what they said. I do not speak for them. And so,
do you channel it?
100%. Yeah. Or I just read and research it. But everyone that ever, I've had a couple little flares of controversy, and you just have to step back and remove yourself and be like, okay, there's 8 people mad here, but there's hundreds of thousands that are not. And those 8 people are nothing. They're called the Hali Instalahui, kings and queens of the comment section. And they are the virus of all Hawaiian ideology and values. And they are entitled to nothing if they do not appropriate the values of Aloha. And they have nothing to say if they don't have an education or have done nothing for this culture other than group up in a comment section and bitch about someone trying to resurrect our ali's lineage and existence. Those people who say this type of shit, tell me all the ali'i's names off the top of your head. If you can't say that, how do you even call yourself a Hawaiian? This is a kingdom. You don't know the names of your ali'i, then what are you claiming?
You're definitely a man on a mission. No, bro. Hey,
you know what I mean? I just wanted them all to know that.
Let them know. Let them know, bro. The social media is a breeding ground for hate and anger, and I really don't pay as much mind to it as I once did when I first started getting some pushback. Fuck them. We're going to be ourselves.
100%.
I did want to ask you some, directing wise. What was your most challenging scene to shoot and why?
In which, just period?
In general, in the history of Etienne.
But there's 2. Okay. Like one in Kapo, there's the ultimate scene of Maine Kinimaka, who's the lead. She's the lead in Chief of War. She had a breakdown in the film on an 8,000-foot cliff on the side of the Ko'olau mountains, but we were on top, not at the beach. And the scene was ego death. And so she's screaming for help from a helicopter, and she's surrounded by all this fog, and it's just 8,000-foot vertical cliff. And she had to show a complete catastrophic break.
Help! Hey! Help me! Help me!
And so before she did the scene, I had to tell her the worst humanly moment and experience of trauma that I faced, which was when I realized I had really screwed up with crime, in Kauai, and I was facing 15 years, and I was in the segregation cell, and I was just screaming at the top of my lungs because I realized my bail is $150,000. I have just broken laws that get you 10 years in prison. And I was just screaming in the cell, I'm sorry, God, and I'm sorry, Mom. Because in that moment, I was the life and dream that I envisioned for myself, in that moment, I had accepted it was gone. Wow. Yeah, and I was just screaming for 3 hours. I'm sorry, God. I'm sorry, Mom. I just kept saying I let them down.
So was it challenging because she had a hard time getting to that zone?
No, it wasn't. We did it on the first take, and it was the most powerful scene I've ever seen in my life. But to tell her that was hard.
Okay.
I was crying the whole shot. Watching, I can give you the clip if you want to post it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Please.
It's gnarly. It's the best ego death of all time. It's a 2.5-minute scene of someone breaking down. No acting scene has ever been that prolific when it comes to crying and dying, as a human. And then she comes alive and she hears her ancestors chanting in the wind. right in that moment.
So this is all your vision. You wrote this story.
Yeah, it's about my life. So it's just every film I make's about my life. Even PI. The second one was just filming in the lineup at 80-foot Jaws. So like imagine
Was it that one epic wave you said was the biggest in years?
Yeah, that we did 8 in a row. Like we shot 8 different swells in a row, but filming the scenes at Jaws in the lineup was extremely difficult because it's like 80 feet tall.
Yeah.
The surfers want to focus. I have 12-year-old kids and we're going into the lineup and it's 80 feet tall. And it's like having to take 1, take 2, and then I flipped the jet ski and saved the camera. It was crazy. Kai like did a scene, then pulled the wave with a ski, shot a wave at us. The jet ski flipped, and I spider monkeyed the ski, and I landed on the upside down. When it flipped over, I landed on the hull and went dig, 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 dig. And as I was falling, I was kicking my feet, and the camera tapped the ocean, and then I came up and I just John Elway'd the camera, and Kai caught it on his ski, and we saved it. and the behind the scenes guys never filmed it.
They didn't film it?
No.
Bro, so those are the 2 most challenging scenes that you've ever shot.
Having to shoot scenes in 80-foot waves with non-actors is very difficult.
And kids too.
Yeah, we lost our audio equipment though in that moment. Yeah.
What were you saying about like all the sounds in there were not from some like bank of sounds? You created all the sounds?
I just showed that to her the other night. Basically 30 minutes of the ending of the film, there's no sound because there's no noise in a water housing. So I recorded every single sound. Like I put the recorder in the hull of the jet ski, recording boats from 30 feet away, 50 feet away, 100 feet away, waves from 50 feet away, 100 feet away, sizzling, boat motors splashing, cheering, whistling, explosions of thunder when the wave goes, like. There's 45 layers of sound in the ending of the film. Yeah. And I sound designed the whole film. It was awesome.
Well, bro, you're a mad scientist.
Thank you.
For one. But it takes somebody to have that level of almost like a psychopathic desire to create, right? And to think outside the box.
Yeah.
Where did you learn that from, or is it innate?
There's just no failure. Like failure is only when you give up. Like making the wrong decision is not failing. It's just the only way to find the right answer is to be wrong first. Yeah. And only when you fail is when you give up. And the only thing I've ever given up on in life is painting cars. That's really hard. I'm the worst painter of cars. I've ruined 2 cars already doing it. But other than that, I've never, ever had a problem with art. And so like you have to honestly, like in society's terms, be completely insane to dedicate 3 years of your life and not work a job for money and just focus solely on a film that everyone has abandoned you on because they have a life, and you have to just create this film out of nothing and build it and commit to it and just not care. And it's beyond being crazy. It's just having a purpose, and the purpose is what I need to do. If I'm not fulfilling my purpose, then what am I doing and why am I alive? And if I give up, I give up on our people. I give up on all those homeless kids that we made the film about. I give up on the people who are struggling, needing a dream. 90% of people you go up to and ask them what they want to be, they don't know. And so that's like, I'm not going to give up on those people because the world is in a bad place because of that, you know? I knew what I wanted to be when I was 4 years old. I watched Jurassic Park and I'm like, yeah.
You wanted to do film. Hey, you know what? That's what actually Taisei discovers in Kenji Walks, Not Brotherly Time. That's what it's all about, is inspiring people by sharing stories of people that understand their purpose and, challenging people to find theirs.
100%.
I wanted to ask you, if you had an unlimited budget, what would the ethos or the concept of that film look like?
The whole Hawaiian community coming and making it with me. That's it. Like, it would be endless amounts. Unlimited budget, I could make as many films as I wanted to. It only takes me $1 million to make a blockbuster, while it takes them 10 to 20. So I would just incorporate the entire Hawaiian community to come, and you guys can come to work every day, work as an apprentice on all the fields and divisions, be extras, make your own malos, make your own spears, make your own attire, have workshops teaching everyone that, have workshops teaching Hawaiian how to speak British, because that's how our kings and ali'i spoke. Chief of War, they're speaking American, they're speaking Kiwi, they're speaking a bunch of variety, right? And that's the one thing where I was like, just like take the time to do that. Teach us. And I don't want to hear it for a second that they needed to cast actors from New Zealand because Hawaiians don't know how to act. I've proven that wrong twice already. Academy Award produced feature films. Hawaiians are the best actors in the world because of what they've been through, what they've been exposed to, and the love and aloha they have. You just need to know how to create the safe space for them to portray that, and you need to know the culture to tell them how to act like that. And so I don't want any Hawaiians ever thinking that there's no Hawaiians to play these roles. They're the best. That they are the best actors in my eyes, and I'm the most accomplished filmmaker to ever come out of this place in history. And I'm telling them right now, they're the best. Hawaiians are the best actors ever, ever.
Okay. So I do want to ask you, you've overcame personal struggles.
Yeah.
Not sure if seems like you're still going through some, man.
It's never ending.
Never ending.
Suffering is the only way you learn. That's my teacher. That's my mentor, is suffering.
Yes.
If you don't suffer, you're going to go nowhere.
Nice. And if you ain't nervous ever, your life is bland.
Yeah.
So including addiction and incarceration, how have those experiences shaped the filmmaker that you are today?
It's just a part of when I made a commitment, I wanted to be the greatest filmmaker to ever touch history. I needed to suffer. That's the only way I would learn how to do that, how to convey those emotions, how to convey those actions, how to convey the experience. And I've literally been through everything I can think of. And that is why I'm talented at directing. So if I chose that path, God's like, okay, here you go. You're going to suffer through all of it, and you're going to make it through all of it. And if you don't make it through all of it, you're done. There's no choice, yeah.
You know, you mentioned that you can make a blockbuster with $1 million, whereas
Actually
those
less.
big studios, I believe you for some reason, but where some of the big studios, you know, they have these budgets of 10 million plus, right?
Yes.
How do you stay creatively honest in an industry that is driven by commercial pressures and money?
Well, the money's so much because they make money off of having that much money. So like if you get a loan for like $100 million, right? You get a tax credit from the government for like 30 million, or like in New Zealand, it might be half. Vancouver, it's half. That tax credit is yours, not the bank's. So you can just pocket that, right? And so that's why these budgets are so big. They make money by spending money. And the more money they're loaned, the more money they get back, the more credit they get back. Everything derives from a tax credit. That's why people spend so much money in the places they do, because that money becomes profit. Whether that goes back to the studio, that goes to the studio plus the box office and all that thing. And the studio, all they have to do is pay back the bank. So it's a machine that obviously doesn't work because the industry here died. And it's ridiculous.
Is that because of the lack of a tax credit here?
Is because of their obsession of the tax credit. They rely you never mix art and government together.
Okay.
Just like Jesus said, never mix government and the religion together. Art is religion. You're creating you're creating a reality. You're creating characters. You're creating life. That's God's gift. Like that's what God does. And so if you rely it on a tax credit, all you care about is the tax credit. And when people are abusing it, which is what happened, they take it and everyone gets screwed. It's the movie union's fault for allowing it to be abused. It's the movie union's fault for allowing people to come here from Disney, volumetric capture Kualoa Ranch Valley with a 360 VR camera, and take the Kualoa Ranch Valley to Disney, and now they don't even ever need to come here anymore. Who did that? We did. Not me specifically, but these people who just care about money. This isn't about money. This is about survival, archival, historic, cultural preservation, perpetuation, and we are the stewards of the Kumalipo. We are God's last allowed species to be born, to be stewards of life, not death, not profit. And being stewards of that, you need to allow the technology, which is film, which is our digital va'a, to carry that message of aloha to the world, because this is where aloha was born. If you're not doing that, you're not a Hawaiian, period. And so these people need to get their heads out of the tax credit and look at, I have all the ability to teach every Native Hawaiian how to be great at this, and just give me the money, period. Like, thank you.
Okay, so with the absence of these big studios and these large scale productions, does that open the door for independent filmmakers? Because now's the time.
It does, but I'm the only one that opens the door for. But these assholes don't want to finance me because of personal reasons or whatever. But it's like, dude, if I've done more than anyone in my generation or in the history of filmmaking at 34 years old, more than Lucas, more than Spielberg, why does Hawaii not support what I can do for us? Because what I can do for us doesn't cost as much money as it does what they're used to. Thus, their system doesn't work. If your system worked, you guys wouldn't have had a collapsed industry. And I'm sick of these assholes telling me that they're going to help me. This, that. I have the vision and the talent and the proof and the receipts to take us to the stratosphere. And the longer they don't support me, the longer they're going to suffer, because I was born to help us get out of here.
Do you feel like you demand the support because of your accolades, but they may have a hard time in trusting you, thinking that you might be unreliable because of your character or your personality?
This isn't about personality or character.
What do you think,
It's about results.
Oh, yeah, so that's what I'm saying, like your accolades, your body of work.
I'm a very good person. I'm the kindest person in general. My whole new goal is to be the most generous person, like the most nicest, the most humble. If you are being lazy or you're choosing yourself over the cultural better, then I'm going to tell you straight. And if you don't like me telling you the truth, then that's your problem. And so to stop me from doing anything just because I'm confident, what would you like someone to be? All your politicians have done the same mistakes. All of your foreign people that are supposedly the guys have failed you. So the only person who has succeeded in this field in the last decade or in history is me. So what does it matter if you don't like my confidence that is solely rooted in resurrecting the Hawaiian culture, helping the less fortunate and lower class? The middle class doesn't like me. The lower class loves me. The upper echelon class, the elite, love me. But it's those ones in the middle that only want me to succeed if I do it some way and I benefit them with a paycheck. Trust me, everyone's gonna get paid.
Yeah.
I don't care about these people, but I do care when they bundle up together and they drown me. You know, like they just hold me down to humanize me as, oh, see, he's not that special. What's wrong with me being great? What's wrong with me being special? Why are you so mad at that? I don't fit your narrative box that you can control and tell. No, bro. Like, I represent the ali'i. I represent our culture. I know more about this Hawaiian culture than any person I've talked to that is my age. I learned from the kapuna and I don't know everything. But if I'm going to represent this, if I'm going to represent the ali'i, I better be able to school anyone my age. And that is why I just want to gather the accolades. And I'm not salty. I've already started to do the steps I need necessary to just make the money myself. And I've given up on and asking anyone for funding. But if someone wants to give me funding, number one, you ain't going to control me. Number two, we're going to follow the way of our ali'i with their constitutions of like Kalakaua and all the ones that they've built. And number three, all Hawaiians are going to be included. We don't need the world to succeed. If we did a pay-per-view screening of a movie I've made here in Hawaii for one day and it plays at 4 p.m. on a Sunday and everyone was brought along for the ride, you get 100,000 people to watch a pay-per-view screening. That's $10 million in a night. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, only I can do that. So let's do it. What do you have to lose? Just give me $1 million and watch this. Like I've done it twice.
Yeah.
You know?
No. You know what? I admire your confidence. I just want to say that. And the only reason why I ask you is because I want to know why you get so much hate and why you feel like you're not getting the support that you actually deserve. You know?
Because everyone hates on the best.
Yeah, they hate on confidence too, I think. Well, especially in Hawaii, the humility culture, right? Like for anyone, you know, with stating the claim that I represent the ali'i, and you know, for a lot of people, it's like, who are you to say that, right?
Who is a lot of every ali'i that came before me to say that too. I'm a descendant of House Kuakini. I was number 2 to Kamehameha. I was Ka'amanu's brother. What more do you want? I've never said that on air in my life because I'm not entitled to act that way. Before I just said that, everyone just thought I was a nobody. You got these fucking lahuis over here telling me to do a genealogy test. Bro, being Hawaiian is not about blood. Being Hawaiian is about a citizenship and allegiance to the kingdom and the values it represents. Like Isaac Davis and John Young, if they had kids, they can't go to Kamehameha school. They founded this kingdom with Kamehameha. You see what I'm saying? It's a identity in the form of a monarchy and a nation or country. Now, Hawaiian blood was created by America from Captain Cook era to the end of Liliuokalani. If you were Samoan, Tongan, French, Filipino, not French, Samoan, Tongan, Filipino, French Polynesia, which is Tahitian, Rapa Nuian, Micronesian, all of them. And you were here in the era of the kingdom, that is what you would be considered as a Kanaka. Okay, the actual blood of the Hawaiian elite is what you call Pacific Islander, which is the oldest known blood of the Pacific Austronesians, which goes from the Philippines to Papua New Guinea down to Hawaii. The Ali'i were that blood. Okay, Filipinos have been there for 33,000 years. That's just as long as the Kumalipo, when the genesis of it all. And people forget it was one land prior to the Great Flood. Okay. And all of that being said, Hawaii was like what you would call in the land of Mu, which Kalakaua drew. Hawaii was like the Mount Everest. And Hawaike is what it was. That's what my kahuna nui, Poni Kamau, told me. That Hawaike means ha, breath, water, life, ike, intelligence, the land of life and intelligence. And when Pa'au ventured here, when Captain Cook ventured here, Kalakaua drew a map. I have the map. You can get it at Bishop Museum. It's of Mu. It's of the land prior. They used that map to find Hawaii. There was no map, but Pa'au on the stone, Kukaimoko, that map was drawn too. And so, people got to look at it's not about a religion, because the Hawaiian Genesis of the Kumalipo is identical to the Old Testament, like Heva Heva and Kuamo'o and Daddy Bray and all of them say, instead of looking at them as two different religions, look at them as two different languages. Their gods are our Akua. Their angels are our gods. It's all the same thing. They have an Adam, they have an Eve, they have all of this, and it's just a different language. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I'm sick of people claiming blood quantum. My family has Hawaiian homelands in Anahola, and they got that from birth certificates that said my grandpa John Kinney was just Hawaiian, but he wasn't just Hawaiian. He was a pure Hawaiian citizen, just like everyone else. When the Hawaiians do their genealogy test, they have Tongan and they have Samoan. Yeah. You're fucking Tongan and Samoan from the kingdom era. Yeah. Unless if you're a Pacific Islander, then that's Ali'i blood. And that is in almost every Polynesian bloodline. That's the father.
Well, we actually had a conversation similar with Kala as well about Hawaiian identity and whatnot. I do want to touch on Landon McNamara real quick because he is one of my favorite local artists. A dollar short and what is it?
Day late, dollar short.
A day late, a dollar short. Oh, wait. A dollar short and a minute late.
Okay. Yeah.
I always get that messed up, but that's literally like one of my favorite soundtracks. I can listen to it from front to back. Yeah. I know that you have a part in the song "A Loss for Words" that came after the Las Vegas tragedy. Can you tell us a little bit about that? How that came to be?
Yeah. I listened to that same album you're talking about, the first one. And I remember I was at the Modern Hotel after a long night at Addiction, the nightclub, and I was listening to the song "Losing It." I'm losing it, but I'm loving it. Whoa! And I was like, oh my God. This little 19-year-old kid has got, where is this coming from? He was so smart. So I called him repetitively for 2 months and told him, you need to make a music video with me. And then I basically forced him. And then we began making music videos together, writing songs together, driving him to the studio. And, I was just a young kid that has never been a people person. And then when you get thrusted in all this fame, I put him in that show Aina with McKenna and Kathy Nuneno to establish him as the guy with Kalani Pia, Anahea, and Henry Kapono. It was a show that came out. It was just the perfect timing for all this to happen. Yeah. And he's the full package. He's just, Landon he wakes up and just makes hits all day long, most talented ever. And so when I went to pick him up, I was fully dedicated in this journey with him. I was making his music videos, so when he came out, he had the best music videos out of anyone, and he just was appropriated on the level of an elite at that point. And he's like, let's make a song about it. And I'm like, oh, let's do it, because I was showing him everyone get shot, and he was really traumatized. So I remember outside Laie by the ice cream shop, by the Ace Hardware, he said those words, and I'm like, shit, let's do it. And I remember being like, things going on in this world, so absurd. Mr. President, tell me what's the word? And that was the first bar. And then he's like, and then we started just bouncing it back and forth, because I know all about the mass shootings and the political stuff, while Landon is a genius with rhythm and composition. And so we began to write everything factually and all the different scenarios. And then we stopped at Hau'ula Park because he had to use the bathroom. He comes out of the bathroom. He's like, I have the chorus. He goes, this one's for Cali. And I'm like, say Columbine. Yeah. And this one's for Columbine. Yeah. This one's for Paris. This one's for all. And so then by the time we hit the studio, the song was basically done. And so the one part he fully wrote entirely himself was the end, where he's like, lies of the land from sea to sea, we all share the same blood. And then he popped that one off in the studio, and then I was working with him to get the octaves right. So it's like, I want to know what in the hell is going on. Too many situations to fit in one song. Like, make it go up and down in that end part, and just making it sound like a protest song, like with the effects, and just like produced it. And I just have a natural knack for this sounds. And so, yeah, he credits me to writing the song, but he's as equally involved as I am. But it's just it's what happens when two people with immense talent want to just change the world. That's all day. The problem is no one wants to come together, you know, because the ego just deteriorates them. Bro, it's not about ego. Ask me why I'm here today.
Why are you here today?
Eddie Rothman, Makua Rothman, Jason Momoa. Yeah, Monty Bram, Kai Lenny. There are people like girlfriends of mine that have helped me, and they're very responsible for all of it. Anyone I've come into contact, you are why I'm here. I hate Jason Momoa, but I'm telling you right now, he's the reason, and he believed in me. But he never made me. I was already a very successful filmmaker before that. You got to look at it. What's Jason Momoa's image, and why do people look at him as a Hawaiian? Because of me, right? I was the connection to his culture, okay? And he was the connection. He was my connection to my dream, which was Hollywood. He believed in me when he didn't need to. Makua Rothman believed in me when I was an absolute nothing drug addict. Uncle Eddie gave me my first camera. My mom supported me, but we're not talking family, we're talking, you see, I have no problem saying, because I am so happy to say that. No one else is gonna tell you, everyone along the way. You can't do it by yourself. But what's wrong with saying that these people did it for you? I don't even like them. I love Makua, you know what I mean? And Uncle Eddie, but like, I love Jason. I love Jason Momoa as a fucking brother. Like, he's one of my best friends, even though we hate each other. And at the end of the day, the reason we don't like each other is simply because of issues from our family. Like, people like that being neglected as a child, abandonment issues, wanting for control. These are things that people need to learn to move forward. And imagine if I had worked on Chief of War. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, this is ridiculous. And everyone needs to come together. I could hate your guts, but if you're good at something, I'm going to work with you, and I'm going to love you that day.
Wow. Okay. I got one last question for him before I give the mic over to Kenji.
No worries.
You're doing great, bro.
Thank you.
So I do want to talk about Ali'i Atlas and the purpose of that project, because I think I went to the Restaurant Row location the day after you put it up.
Oh, thank you.
And bro, like, me and the person I was with were like, we're captivated because not only did it just look real, but I also seen the images or the videos of them talking. Can you tell us about that project? A man named Steven Sullivan, who's the VP of Parallel, which is Mr. Jay Schuyler School of Business. He came up to me at the Kamaka Diaz podcast gala. Kamaka is the reason why that all happened, because of his gala. Shout out to Kamaka.
Yeah, shout out to him. And he believed in me from the very beginning for all of this Hawaiian stuff. And Steven's like, do you want to do some art on our wall? And I'm like, let's put the ali'i. And at the time, Steven had no idea what I was saying, because everybody was like, it's Kapu. I'm like, why is it Kapu to put our ali'i on the wall? They're going extinct, but that's the colonization mentality. Because being an ali'i, you were a threat to the Republic. And so that just became conscious thought. And so I didn't give a shit what anyone was going to say. I had a bunch of donors in the beginning, and right before I went to go pull the trigger, they all pulled out. All the trust who are named after their own ali'i, and everyone, but it's okay, because it was Kapu in their eyes, but not to me. I saw, we need our culture back, and my dream is to put the ali'i all over the city. So I just went forward. My boy Patrick paid for all of that first thing to happen, like literally, and believed in it. And my close friends like Josh from UPS, this cool brother, not Hawaiian blooded, but as Hawaiian as it gets, he did all the printing for free. This guy is like as white as you can be, and he's just about it, bro. Like, this is the kind, like, people helping on the level that you would never think would. And so I just built that whole thing in like 2 days, single-handedly, with my daughter next to me, handing me screws, and then put that whole thing up. And then after that, so many lineal descendants came down that day. And it was from that day that I started to get the support of all of my ancestors' descendants, all the lineal descendants. Some of them came there to hate. And they were so moved by what I had said and the thing that then now all of them, Oha and everyone supports me now. They all do. And so I just understand. It was Kapu.
You see how you gotta persevere through the naysayers?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know? And I think all great artists in history have went through what you're going through.
Yeah.
And the ones that are remembered are the ones that persevered through that adversity.
Like survive.
Absolutely.
You have to survive through it. But yeah, I'm grateful to everyone that was against it, because the ones who are against it really cared about the culture. And because if someone else, I don't know anyone else besides myself, not being cocky, that would approach it with this level of sacredness. No one's exploiting.
Yeah.
No one's taking advantage. This is sacred. And now we're going to get them on every single street named after them. I just did the big one of Prince Kohio, 20 feet long, 10 feet tall, on Prince Kohio Street. We're doing Kaiolani Street next. We're doing King Street with all the kings. And so the whole city is just going to have ali'i everywhere. And that's been my dream, and that's going to happen.
And are these permanent installations?
Yeah, but basically as permanent as I want them to be. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So, yeah.
All right, Kenji.
Well, hey, mahalo again for coming, Etienne. I only really have a couple questions.
No worries. Yeah.
As a fellow filmmaker, you know, first of all, the word film itself, I think, and video and movie is all kind of getting mushed together.
Yes.
What's your take on what a film is today?
Thank you so much for asking that question. I don't think anyone should be allowed to call themselves a director, a writer, a producer, unless you've made a feature film. You need to own and earn that. Like, you guys have made legitimized documentaries on the level of broadcast, so you can call yourself a television director, right? When it comes to filmmaking, you ain't making no short film and you're a writer director. Like, get out of here with that, because this is a title that takes sacrifice, right?
Stolen valor, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
No, hey, I appreciate that, because you're someone that I can ask this to. As someone, I'm guilty too. Like I've said, you know, in the last 10 years, you've seen how, I mean, tech, you see what I got here, but it's not always been this. I started with like a G-Shot, power shot, something, Canon, I don't know. But in from that time, in like 2010 to today, labels change, tech changes, and so I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck I am.
You guys
to be
are
honest.
both producers. Yeah.
I think we all connect on that the creative act. I mean, that book is literally right here in the room. Like that landed with all of us. So we create. It doesn't matter the tool. Yeah. You yourself call yourself somewhat of a tool being used, a paintbrush.
Yeah. I hate the word videographer. I hate the word filmer. Don't call it.
What do you?
Yeah.
Producer.
Yeah, like for yourself, if you're actually producing stuff and you're actually accomplishing stuff, like calling you a filmer is a discriminatory term, like next to a slave. A videographer is like a high school student. Okay. Yeah, like we are beyond that. Yeah,
the evolution is what?
A filmmaker is someone that just has a passion and love for filmmaking. But like director is someone that like, I am taking this ship. I've watched so many people step in the director's seat and just crumble.
Where?
You know?
Where?
On projects I've worked on, short films, on feature films, actors that think they're directors until they have responsibility. A director is not telling people what to do, which people see you doing. Director is like, what are they going to eat? How are we going to shoot this scene? What time we're going to shoot this scene? What lens are we going to shoot this scene? What crew am I going to use? How am I going to do this? How do I fit it into the scope of the narrative and the arc of the film? How do you adjust on the fly to make sure that you have enough in post to re-edit that thing? Where are these people going to live? Where are these people? How are they getting to work? How are they getting paid? Like, all of those things are going on every second of your life.
But see, I wanted to see, this is the main, I had like, man, I got like one question, but it kind of opens, you can unpack it into a whole fucking podcast if you want, but like, since I got this opportunity now, like, just like you said, the director's doing a lot of things, right? Sort of the captain of the ship, and there's a lot of crew, right? Everyone listens to what the director says.
Well, the producer's the actual final boss.
So there's two captains, or there's producer.
If the director's a producer, then he is equal, but the producer is the final boss. Yeah.
I kind of want to say, wait, name some producers and or producer directors right now that you think are killing the game?
Christopher Nolan, Denis Villeneuve. Obviously, like George Lucas, James Cameron.
The OGs.
Yeah, Spielberg. They're all producers.
How do you feel about Sinners, Coogler?
Who?
Sinners.
Who's that?
It's a movie by Ryan Coogler. The one with Michael B. Jordan. He plays two brothers in it.
Shoot, I don't know that movie.
Dude, brother, please watch that.
Yeah.
To me, it was just a beautiful piece of art that forced. I went to theaters 3 times to see it. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's
you know what I mean? So that was a multiple watch one. But I ask you, what because we all love what you create.
Yeah,
but I want to know what you consume. Like, who do you look up to? And then, even if you don't like, say, like Nolan, for example, from your point of view, would you say storyteller's fair?
He's a writer, director, producer, but he, like, then again, Nolan hasn't made something that's impressed me since he was working with his brother Jonathan. Jonathan was the writer. Nolan was the director. Jonathan Nolan wrote The Dark Knight, Interstellar, Inception, The Dark Knight Rises, Batman, Memento. And then the movie that he didn't work on was Dunkirk. And from there, Jonathan Nolan's never worked with his brother again. Why? You see what I'm saying? What happened after Interstellar?
I don't know.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? He made Westworld. So Jonathan went and wrote Westworld.
Yeah.
And he started working with his wife. So maybe there's a division there because he wants to work with his wife. But it's like, no, like you guys, it's ain't about personal. Come together and make greatness again.
Okay. So that's me and my brother. We're making greatness.
Yeah, that's
we're
what
riding
I'm saying.
the wave.
Yeah.
And you know what? So let me just ask this is something I got to ask you. When you're doing all these things, right? You see people fumble, you see people crack under pressure of having to do so much things because now you're in the director's seat, right?
Yeah.
But for you, I almost feel like outside looking in, right? I'm like, he's wearing a lot of hats, but I was like, is that fair? Do you see it as wearing like one big ass multicolored hat, or do you see it more like a lot of different single colored hats that you have to wear? You're putting them on, taking them off, no one to take. You know what I mean? Like.
It's just one thing.
It's just one thing, right?
Yeah. It's like I don't want to do all those jobs, but I'm not going to hand them to someone because everyone I know would give up unless they're being paid a lot of money and they're professional. So like my 2 movies, I hired people I had to teach, which was my hugest mistake. I don't help people if you don't have the full capacity to make their career with them giving up on top of that. Everyone that's given up on my movies has a credit on my film and they get all the credit back. But nearly everyone gave up. And I don't have that option. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is for, if I fail God. I fail the people. And I'm not going to allow that to happen. And I know as long as I put my faith and trust and surrender in Akua, everything's going to be fine. But it's really, 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 really hard to do that. And I work on it every day. But this is why you have to wear those hats. You have to do them all. And then your movies come out good because you're in control.
Control. That's the other thing I wanted to say. Do you think you do your best work when you have control or when you kind of let go of control?
Full control. Wait, what do you mean? When I go out of
like,
control?
you know how there's some things that are out of your hand, like out of your control.
Oh, yeah. So,
there's something like acting even.
So the acting is in my control. I don't care how good you can act or how bad you can act. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't care. I don't care about your audition tape.
Yeah.
None of that. I don't care if you're an A-lister. I don't care if you're a nobody. My job is to make you great. And I'm going to make you great no matter what. It's impossible for someone to act bad in my film just because I just know how to do that too well. When it comes to, one more time.
The control piece.
Out of control. You are always out of control. If you go and follow a plan and a structure to the T, you're going to fail 100% guarantee. And that's where I watch people crack is because they can't comprehend how it's going to happen. It's going to happen because God's going to let it happen. So in my movies, Akua or the Akua Aina is the #1 character. I wait for God to come out of the trailer, meaning like I wait for the sun to hit the right spot. I wait for the waves to be the right size. I wait for the wind and the lighting to be at the right time. The actors don't matter to me. They're going to sit in that trailer until Akua is ready to be filmed because in Hawaii, that is the lead actor. So like how are you going to call Chief of War when the ultimate chief isn't in the film? That's why Apple is over here releasing commercials for their Map app. And they're saying Kualoa Ranch, but all the footage they're showing is in fucking New Zealand. You know what I'm saying? And so this was what I'm saying. That's how much they cared about the Aina. You see what I'm saying? That is the ultimate chief. That is the ultimate lead actor. So if you are a filmmaker in Hawaii and you respect the land as your #1 actor, it's free. You go anywhere and the land just performs. Then your movies will be great.
And so you're not necessarily, that's out of your control.
Yeah.
But you know how to control yourself to sort of capitalize or not let the opportunity slip.
Well, if you don't, as long as you're working towards the goal, and for say you don't make the day, that's supposed to be that way. God wants it to be that way because at least you guys got practice, but don't worry, tomorrow it's going to be even better. You can reset and just have pure faith in the hands of God and Akua in those moments, and you will succeed. My second movie, I never made one mistake. The first one, I was learning this.
See, but then wouldn't you say mistake is more subjective? Because like a mistake to this person, like, no, that's exactly how it should have been.
Yeah, well, I didn't make a mistake because everything was in the hands of the Aina and God. I didn't make a mistake. On production, post-production, I made a lot of mistakes.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was in my control. Yeah. If it's in your control, you're going to make mistakes. But if it's in God's hands, you're just following along for the ride. There's no mistakes because God doesn't make mistakes.
Yo, all right. The last one I got to wrap it up with is maybe it can be a rabbit hole. It cannot be, but I sort of see visual and audio input as a language, just like our spoken language right now, right? We're using these tools that we're born with to interpret and then produce language back to someone in a very specific way that we agree on. It's agreed terms. It's a language, right? It's an agreement.
Yeah.
I see that agreement in visual storytelling, in film. And I see you as someone who's fluent in it. Almost to the point where I could ask you a question and you'd be like, I don't know, because it's just natural to me.
Yeah.
Just like language, I can't explain grammar to all the time.
The English language is the reason for arguments because it's an argumentative language.
See?
Hawaiian, there's no arguing because it's a present tense language.
So you see?
Yeah.
I think every adult should study a language that's very far from their mother language just so they can reveal themselves.
The English language is the colonizer. It is. It's the number one reason why we disagree. And Hawaiian language has so many multifaceted definitions that it's hard to disagree because it's just rooted in the kumalipo, which is one way and one way only. How are you going to disagree with what you're faithful to and what it says? Is we are stewards of life, and that is it. If you're doing something to abuse life, then you die. Like that's what Kamehameha said. You know what I mean? And so, like, we're not supposed to be killing each other like that, but Kamehameha knew that he had to be strict because that was the culture he was trying to change, which was Pa'au, Tahitian war type of situation. Before that, we were so peaceful. Our people were murdered in masses when Pa'au first landed in 1280. Murdered them all. It was really sad. But that's what Kamehameha was trying to bring back. Yeah.
Language shapes identity for damn sure. And you speak the language of film beautifully. So in that note, like, what would you say as far as like someone coming up, someone like myself too, who's like, you know what, me and Ty were talking about, like, let's make a fucking film, right? What would you say is sort of like maybe a guiding principle when we go and try and olelo this language of film?
Just when you're creating it, you pretty much everything that makes a film wants to do translate good. So just follow the values of Aloha in everything you're trying to communicate. Like, tell me this: have you ever seen someone speak Hawaiian and you disagreed with them before? Like speaking Olelo, like, and you're reading subtitles.
I'm trying to think now because Chief of War is the most recent one.
No, not. I'm talking about like an interview, like yeah, that Chief of War is a controlled setting. I'm talking about someone just answering a question in Olelo.
Not enough, I feel like.
Like like what I'm saying is, like, if they're gonna speak in their native language, they're gonna speak the principles of the native language, and thus no one's gonna disagree with those principles. Just like Haile Ika Aina Ke Kaua Ke Kanaka, land is chief, man is servant. If Kamehameha wants to go take over another island, he wants to do it to end the sacrificial religion. There's nothing wrong with that. You see what I'm saying? But to the Tahitians, there is something wrong with that. But they speak a different language.
So there's a lot encoded in it.
Yeah. Languages are the reason for disagreement and argument. Not understanding each other and a lack of aloha, which is a lack of respect. Disrespect is the root of all confrontation.
So if we choose to make a film that translates good,
just respect.
Aloha, respect.
Yeah. Love is non-existent without respect being present. Love's like a chemical feeling that is like a heightened feeling of happiness, while respect is a physical action. The only way you have love is having yourself be respected. Like, you don't miss that person because you miss loving them, you miss the way they made you feel respected. And so if everything is rooted in the actions of respect, then nothing can go wrong because everyone by default knows what respectful is. You're not supposed to destroy the land. You're not supposed to exploit the people. We all know this, right? But they're going against the definition of our culture and everything about us. Aloha is respect, meaning the God within us. Aloha means the God within us. the behavior of God represents and reflects respect. You see what I'm saying? Like so many people, I used to even say big definitions of aloha. It's just respect. That's it. Like really think about that. It's just respect for yourself, for the land, and for others. You can do no wrong being respectful because your actions can't harm anyone if you're actioning respect.
No, I feel you, bro. And I feel like we're lucky to be born and raised in a place that really, really champions respect.
It's our genesis, the Kumalipo.
That's where we're at. Well, thank you, brother. Let people know where they can find you and connect with you.
Yep. Aliiana.org, ALIIANA.org. You can see all that we're doing. Go and look at the murals at Kohio Street, Department of Hawaiian Homelands, Restaurant Row. Just see the ali'i and be with them. And my Instagram is i.am.aurelius. And let's unify and just change the world through love, aloha, and respect.
Thank you so much for watching this interview. If anything in this video made you feel something, please share this video with someone you think would feel the same way. This channel is a product of two brothers born and raised in Hawaii, using our skills, our story, and our growing network to unleash our creativity. For us, being creative isn't optional. It's a duty. We've got some incredible interviews and creative projects coming up, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world to us. Hope to see you in the next one.